Popcorn World. Popcorn World.
Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this move in a bag of a can. Put the big and Robin world and the holes in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. The Popcorn World.
Now it's time for Believe in the ACC with our starting lineup. From Florida State, number 17, Charlie Ward. From Morehead State University, number 50, Lloyd Stan. And from Murray State University, number 2, Kendrick Haskett. Get ready for the best sports show about the ACC in all the land. Believe in the ACC starts now.
Oh, we're so high. I've missed you so. What's going on, people? We are glad to be here with you on Oscar nomination day, which we will get into later. One of my favorite days of the year, being that I am a screenwriter. You know, that's every screenwriter's or actor's dream, is to hear your name called on this day. So we'll get into that. If you're not a film writer, then you don't really care about what this day is. In fact, this is just Thursday. That's all it is.
It's just Thursday.
It's just Thursday. For a lot of people, this is just Thursday. So,
matter of fact, I was this show years old when I learned that today was not Oscar nomination day.
There you go. So, and by the way, you are not alone. There are many that have no idea what this day means or represents. They are clueless as to what this day actually means to a lot of people. So anyway.
Think of the bucket hat.
Listen, man, I'm trying to bring – I decided last year your thing is shirts. I can't compete. That's not going to happen. I decided Kendrick is the king of the shirts. So I decided I'm going to be the king of the hats. I'm going to bring this hat game in ways that you never thought it was possible. I'm a combinations – situation. So we both got a thing. I love the championship hat or championship shirt. You look good, sir. I ain't gonna even hold you. So we got this is what we do. We bring flavor to the situation.
I love my bucket hats. And in the summer I got a bucket hat on every day when I'm outside. So I love it.
You gotta have a few bucket hats.
You gotta protect all this.
Listen, we got domes, people. We got domes. When you have domes, not heads, domes. We got domes. So we
you gotta protect said dome.
Protect the dome. PTD. Different from GTD. But listen, we're here. Got a lot to talk about. Got to give it up for our guy. I don't know if he's going to make it today because he's very, very big. Listen, when you're on a 4-game winning streak, you're busy. You're busy. They talking about him in these streets. Hey, you about Charlie Ward? He out here. They winning. Got a chance to see our guy this past Saturday while you were in Miami. I was right here in the PB and wearing FAMU gear in a very hostile environment. And hostile is an understatement. I was very shocked. And how PB represented itself on Saturday. I was like, yo, y'all got to calm down. Like, it's a basketball game. It's right. Not that serious. But needless to say, Charlie brought his guys in under very difficult conditions and got the victory. So you got to give him credit for that. That's pretty incredible.
Let's props to Coach Junior and the Rattlers.
And the Rattlers. Also, want to give some shout out to our guy, Reggie Swinton, who did a little hookup thing for Charlie. We won't go into the details, but he had Charlie's back. Cowboy legend, Reggie Swinton. So
Murray State legend.
Murray State. We'll give Murray State some love here, you know. But yeah, hook that up and shout out to the guy Reggie Love from UALR. So it was a combination type thing, but they worked it all out. So anyway, great weekend for both of us. You were in Miami, man. You saw it go down. Talk to me, man. What was it like? Take me there. Take me through there.
I'll take you there. It was one, it was cold for Miami, to be honest with you.
That's what everybody was saying.
Game night. I mean, that game, because the way Miami Stadium's built, the stadium is beautiful to look at, but it's weird. It's like,
listen, it looks weird because on the outside it looks like, whoa, this is impressive, and then on the inside you're like, whoa, this looks like the old 80s Cotton Bowl. Like, what is this?
Basically, it's the old Miami Stadium of Joe Robbie, and you know they've changed the name on it 100 times. Right. They just put that canopy over it, but it's still the same stadium.
Oh, it's the same stadium. Oh,
yeah. Okay. And if you go in the press box, it's like going back in time. It's like, come on, Miami. But and so the auxiliary press box. I mean, there's not a press box in the world that can handle all that media. The auxiliary, well, actually, the old Georgia Dome did have us all in there. But anyway, our seats were outside, which is fine. I actually kind of like being outside more than in the press box, because in the press box, people who don't know, you can't hear nothing. Right. You don't hear anything. You mean the crowd has to be really loud for you to hear it.
For you to hear it, exactly. For you to get a feel.
Being outside, you can feel the atmosphere of it a little bit more.
Exactly.
And Lloyd, you can relate to this. So the way that stadium is built, it's built out rather than up like all the modern stadiums. Out, when it's built out, there's not a bad seat like Freedom Hall. You know how Freedom Hall is built out instead of up like the Yum Center. Yeah. And so there's not even though we were towards the top of the stadium, it wasn't a bad seat. It was a great seat. Only thing that was hard is, so we were on the end of the IU end zone. And so if anything past 5 yards in that end zone, anything in the back of that end zone, you couldn't see what happened. But luckily all the touchdowns happened right there where you can see it, though.
Right, worked out.
Yeah. And so, you know, everybody knows what happened. We'll get to the game, but I'll get to some of the flavor of the stuff that, you know, most people don't get to see.
Right.
I mean, we're walking around, so, you know, we do our live shots, taking behind the curtain of television. We had a special at 5:30, and we have our iPads that have the rundown and all of our scripts in it. Well, it did not work. So
the whole time?
The whole time. And so we had to ad-lib the show and literally have the producer in our ear tell us what's the next story coming.
Oh, wow.
And so then former U of L great wide receiver Harry Douglas, who everybody knows from ESPN and That Boy Bad.
That boy bad.
I covered Harry at U of L, so I know Harry pretty well. And so I saw him on the sideline. First, was just, hey, what's up? And then I noticed, I was like, oh, we don't have a rundown. he needs something to fill his time in case something else goes wrong. So I went up to Harry and said, hey, can you come on with us real quick? And he's like, yeah, I got to do something and I'll be over there. And so he lived up to his word. He came on the show. Our producers didn't know. I told him, he might come on. We don't know exactly when. So when we brought him in, a producer was like, where'd that come from? But she rolled with it. And shout out to our producer, Sydney Harbin. She rolled with it. We got Harry on. And like, if you watch it on television, you couldn't tell that we was flying by the seat of our pants, truly.
Right.
So there was that.
From 20 years of experience. And understanding that things will go wrong.
So after the show, after we get done with everything, we just do a stroll around the stadium. And that's when we saw it. So we saw that shot you see of Stephen A. and Michael Irvin, like looking like two little kids on the side. I'm standing like right behind that. I was standing right there for that. Okay. So I saw that. And then during the show, Dusty's talking, and literally that's when Ed Reed walked in with that hat on. And so and I see it, and I just started laughing. He's talking because he looks so ridiculous with this hat on. And
so for those who don't know, Ed Reed had one of those
big hats. Those giant hats.
It's like a 10X hat. It's huge.
Yeah.
And he had it on
like a mascot hat.
Right, and he looked very happy. He looked like somebody had just bought him the greatest Christmas present ever. So
he's just strolling around saying what's up to everybody. So we saw Ed Reed, Stephen A. and Michael Irvin. I did not see Tom Brady. I didn't know he was there until Kristen texted me. He's like, say hi to Tom Brady. It's like, I didn't even see him here.
Yeah, Tom was in the stands, I guess, and he was taking in the sights, as we'll get into here in just a second.
So, Lil Uzi Vert was there. DJ Khaled was there. Fat Joe. Pitbull put on a concert outside the stadium.
Okay.
And so during our show, they had it playing on the big screens, and you could hear it. But that's the other thing. The sound system in that stadium is not very good either. And so, our media seats, they were right next to the Miami section.
Yeah.
But they were surprisingly. They were being fans, but they weren't like outrageous like Miami fans can be. They were straight. They were just like
they had a good time.
They weren't there. They had a good time. Yeah. I could see President Trump from my seat. I will say that it was majority IU fans there.
Sure.
And I will say it's probably about 55-45. I know a lot of people are saying 60-40, but I think it was closer to 55-45 IU fans.
So Miami was there, but they definitely played an away game.
Yeah. Well, a neutral site game. It was a neutral site game.
It was kind of as close to the neutral site as you could get. Yeah. And to be fair, it did sound like an away game on TV. The Indiana fans were way loud.
They were so loud.
Right,
and like when they would do the IU, I mean, that U would be loud and echoing out throughout the stadium.
It did sound loud.
Yeah. It was funny when they do the Hoosiers in the pros and the Hurricanes in the pros. It's slightly different.
The number was, the number was different.
And like it's like Indiana. There was a couple of people. The funniest thing, the player that got the biggest yell from the IU fans was Antoine Randall L, who played there like 30 years ago. Right.
Oh yeah.
But I mean,
Antoine was good there though. He was.
Antoine was good. It's good to see him. He's in the league. I think he's on the Lions coaching staff. It's either the Lions or the Vikings, but I'm pretty sure it's the Lions.
Well deserved. Antoine was a really great player.
And a good guy too. I remember I was an intern and I interviewed him when I was in college. But like they showing like Ray Lewis.
I like that pause that he just made there. And as Kendrick pauses and his screen is frozen, this show is sponsored by Popcorn World. Popcorn World, 250 flavors. And ironically, it's made in Gary, Indiana. So go by to popcornworld.com and you can get some of that Doing the World of Flavor .com and get you some Popcorn World. Listen, we had a great time this past weekend. The pause was the best part of it. When you go back and watch this later, you're gonna see this great Ray Lewis pause, like you're reaching out like a Ray Lewis. So it looked good. You look good on your pause.
I'm mad I didn't get to see him down there, especially in that ridiculous outfit he had on. He definitely looked like an unk.
Oh, he was giving off straight unk vibes. No question about it.
Yeah,
he was straight unk. He was unk to the fullest. Yeah. I don't even want that to be.
I did see Tim Tebow down there, and then on the media shuttle heading back to the hotel, I sat next to Heather Dinich, who is cool. Who I don't know, she's cool as hell.
Yeah.
We were talking. I was like, I say from Louisville, but we was covering IU because IU's about a couple hours from us. She says, "Oh, I know," because she went to IU. She's an IU grad.
Right.
And she's like, I made that drive to Louisville a bunch of times. And she showed me her phone and like the party going on in Bloomington that night. It was crazy. But I think Bloomington might still be partying.
Listen,
we got a winter storm coming this
2026 is set for Bloomington. They're going to be partying the entire year.
We got winter storms coming, and they still having their celebration in the football stadium on Saturday. I'm like, y'all have fun with that.
They're like, we don't care. We do not care.
Y'all can be built for this. I'm not.
Right. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him because I get it. This was an unprecedented, unexpected, and dare I say, unbelievable situation. So let's go back. Let's get to the actual game. And we asked the question: is the U back?
I still say yes.
You say yes.
I still say yes.
Okay.
I still say, especially if the courts come through and are able to steal Duke's quarterback.
Right.
But their backup plan easily could be throw number 10 back there at quarterback because Malachi Tony is that kind of dude.
Malachi Tony was fantastic. Listen, that game was not lost because of him or Fletcher. They both played outstanding football, and you can't take anything away from what they did in that game. I think Malachi had somewhere near was it like 200, almost 200 yards total?
I've got it right here. He had 122 yards receiving.
Yeah.
And he had 120 and special teams.
You're right.
Not returning. Well, he had 25 yards punt return.
Okay, so it was a good day.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a really, really good. They just ran into a team that could make a few more plays than they made.
Because Indiana did not play his best game. Mendoza did not play his best game. I was surprised how well Indiana was able to run the ball in that game.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what my thoughts on that are. I don't know if they ran the ball well as much as they just would not give up on the run. They were like, this might be a slow drip, but it is. We are going to run our water. We're going to keep running this ball, and we don't care if it's 2 yards or 3, but we're going to keep running it until you can't handle it. And eventually we're going to break some, and that's exactly what they did. And that takes an incredible amount of discipline to decide and to not get off of it that we're going to run the ball regardless of how much success we are seeing or not seeing. I thought that was one of the most impressive things they did.
Well, some of that too was born out of Mendoza was getting killed back there.
He was getting murdered. It for the first quarter, it looked like a murder scene. It was not good. And I was concerned in the first half because I was thinking this is the most pressure he's gotten all season long. Which, by the way, I don't know if I don't know if I have that on the agenda for the day, but I'll go ahead and say it now. I understand if the Raiders take Mendoza as the first pick of the draft. I get it. I don't think it's the right decision, but I do get it. Ruben Bain is
him and Mesidor both. I got to talk to Mesidor on media day because they bring him up to the podium, and then when they get down at the podium, if you can grab him, you can grab him. And I talked to him. And I talked to him for a long time. First of all, when he's on the podium, they was asking what kind of music he listens to, and he said Bryson Tiller. And I was like, yo, I'm from Louisville. So shout out to Bryson Till. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so he taught one-on-one. That dude is as cool as a cat can be, man. I talked to that dude, and like, you know, we dapped each other up, hugged each other after we got done.
Yeah.
And, he's a good dude with it. That him and Bane. I mean,
I don't think you can go wrong with either one.
I'm like, if I'm a team, I'm doing everything I can to get both of them.
They were outstanding.
Cowboys, they're probably in position, maybe to get Mesidor. I don't know about Bane, but they might be in position to get Mesidor. And dude, they are impressed. I mean, I use offensive lineman Coogan, who's probably going to be a top 5 pick himself.
Right.
He was like, this is the best defensive front I've ever seen. And he's like, we knew it coming in, but when you get out on the field and play against them, he was blown away by how good they were.
When I watched them this past Monday, the thing that caught my attention first is how in the hell did Louisville beat them?
They got the ball out fast.
Yeah.
Because I talked to Mesidor about that. I was like, Louisville's game plan against y'all was to get the ball out fast. SMU was the same thing. I said, you expecting it against IU? And he was like, actually, no. He's like, they're not going to play the quick game against us. He's like, and we'll be able to get pressure. And he's like, we want to stop the run, which, like you said, they did for the most part. But when Indiana needed a big run, they got it.
Yeah.
But he is like, I don't expect them to play the quick game like that. And he was right. And so this team is, I mean, I've been impressed with Miami all year, and we laugh at them on this show because of their fans.
Right.
But I truly believe that was the number 1 and number 2 teams in the country playing on Monday night.
I think the best 2 teams in the nation were on that field, and I think they thank God again to the CFP because they got that right.
Because the ACC messed it up.
Right, when the ACC couldn't get it right. So the ACC was saved from itself. But I was very, very impressed with the defensive abilities of Miami. And their defense did what they were supposed to do. To go through the first half and hold Miami to 10 points after they had just scored 56 was impressive. Like that's exactly what you're hoping would happen. So yeah, you're down 10-0, but it's 10 points. It's not like it's 20 points or 30 points. It's you're right there.
Miami, you got the college version of Derrick Henry back there and Fletcher.
Yeah. and the college version of Tyreek Hill. So you got a lot of good pieces to make a run, which is what they essentially did coming into the second half. And so
Malachi Tony is so impressive too.
You know what the crazy part that got me more than anything else? Because I didn't know his age. I'm just assuming he's a junior.
Oh no, he's supposed to be a senior in high school.
That's what I did not know that he was. For some reason, I had no idea that he was that young. I guess because I'm watching him play, and I remember how he played in Louisville. I'm saying, well, this kid's got to be like. I never once looked at his classification. So when I saw that he's like a freshman, I was like, wait a minute. That kid's a freshman?
He turned 18 during the season. He was
That's
17.
So crazy. That's so crazy. Do you know how much money that kid's going to make? That kid is easily going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. Well,
and he's going to be a Heisman. I think he's going to be a Heisman front runner coming into the season next year.
If he's not, somebody's doing something wrong.
Well, the only way he's not is if Ty Simpson comes back. They'll put it because it's quarterback award, and so. But Malachi Tone, and then I also got a chance to talk to him, not one-on-one, but just on the podium.
Right.
And it's funny because there's no arrogance like whatsoever.
Really, that's awesome. No, that's awesome.
But you can tell he's a kid though with some of his answers. You can tell, okay, he is still a kid. It's not a knock against him. It's just
it's not a knock. It's just he is a kid.
And if you think about it, Miami, they've got the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Hurricanes, the Heat. Yeah. So high school football probably doesn't get covered hardly at all. So he probably had barely been interviewed before this season.
Well,
and so and it kind of showed. But I'm not even knocking the kid. I'm just saying this is how it is.
Yeah.
But it was a refreshing youngness about him and about his answers and stuff. Like it was crazy how much I really came to really like this team as players.
Yeah.
From at that media day, because they was all really good dudes.
That's cool. That's very cool. So, listen, by the time we got to the fourth quarter, we had a full-blown game, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I mean, it was a good.
It was teetering there, even though
game.
IU was only up 10-0. It was teetering that IU might be able to run away with this, but that Fletcher run changed everything.
Well, the Fletcher run. Well, two things. I think the game twisted on three essential moments. The Fletcher run was massive because that gave us the game we so desperately wanted. Because up until that point, if you don't like defensive games, you didn't like this game. Simple as that. But once the Fletcher run in the second half came, we had like, okay, here we go. Now we got the tension. Now we got some offense. Now we got a game. But the problem is, man, that blocked punt was massive. I mean, and dare I say, it's the difference between IU winning and losing this championship. Like,
definitely, literally and figuratively, because that's 7 points. They won by 6.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what went wrong after watching the play again. I don't understand, other than somebody just missed an assignment and there was maybe a communication error, but it seemed to be a relatively easy block, and man, it cost them everything. It really did cost them everything. And that's why they say you win in all 3 phases. You win games in all 3 phases, not just the 2. So,
because I'm telling you, before the Fletcher run, just walking back in the stadium from halftime, you could feel the momentum. Like Miami, I don't know what happened during halftime, but like coming out of the locker room, that Miami crowd, they were going crazy before the run.
Yeah.
Then the run happened. I mean, and they were going nuts in that stadium. And I say that block happened, and like that changed everything in that game. And then the Mendoza run, which is going to be the signature
Mendoza
play.
Run. I wanted to say this: the best part of IU is their discipline. They don't blink and they don't flinch, regardless of what is happening on the other side of the field. And so the fact that they didn't fall apart after that Fletcher run and they stayed their game plan.
They stayed the course.
That to me was as impressive as anything else they did that day. I was like, wow, they're not shook by this. Most teams would have folded.
And a lot of that's got to do with the maturity. I mean, they are an older team.
Well, it's maturity, but also Shaq says it all the time. If the general don't blink or if the general ain't panic, the troops ain't gonna panic. And Signetti did not seem fazed by that whatsoever. So that was a big moment. But now let's go to the play of plays, the Mendoza decision, which, by the way, I don't know if you got a chance to even hear any of this, but it turns out that was an option RPO. He could have passed or ran that play. And initially, his initial thought was to try to throw it in. He said, I was going to throw it because I felt like I could make the throw. But then when I saw the lane, I was like, I'll just run it. And I was like, wow. Scott Van Pelt was like, are you serious? He's like, yes, I just decided in the moment to run it. I was like, oh. So he just decided in the moment.
This is conflicting. It's kind of because Signetti did say it was a quarterback draw. So
well, he said that, but I you know what? I wonder how much flexibility, because of his level of intelligence, because the kid is very, very smart. Yeah. And I wonder how much flexibility he had in that moment. And it feels like, I don't think the kid was lying. I just think that play was probably a little bit of everything. It was like, dude, go make a play however you make the play. Whatever you see, and go react and do that. So, and that's exactly what he did.
I mean, he took 3 huge shots on that play too.
Well, my favorite, it's not a meme, but it's like a video. There's a video out there, and it's like a reel of last year when he's in California and they played Miami. One of the kids that lit him up when he was in California and laid him out on the ground for a little bit. that same kid was in the play in this final play, and this time he got the best of the kid. And so it was a real now aided with a block. Let's be very clear. It wasn't just that they met in the hole and he got the kid, knocked him down. No, he met in the hole with the kid, and also he was assisted by one of his own players knocking him down. So so it worked out kind of nice. But the way that play unfolded, because it looked like he was only going to get the first down.
Yeah.
And then he somehow
spins out of it.
Yeah, the spin and stayed up on his feet and somehow got to the end zone. And that dive will live in infamy. Like, that was crazy that he did that. I didn't realize he was as tall as he is. He's a really tall
guy.
kid.
He's a big dude. Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
And he's big. He's tall and he's a big guy.
He's bigger than what you think he is, for sure.
I mean, I can see why Tom Brady likes him, because if you look, he reminds you so much of Brady.
Yeah.
So much physically, he reminds you so much of Brady, and the accuracy. I mean, he did almost have one pick six, but other than that throw, his passes are so accurate.
Yeah,
and so and then he had some big runs in that game. They're running back. Yeah, but then Miami, but shout out to Miami too, because they didn't flinch either, because that wasn't the end of the game. And so, because matter of fact, when IU settled for that field goal to go up 6, I was like, I think
didn't feel like the right idea. Yeah, I was gonna say didn't feel like the right idea at the time, but at the same time, I can't even argue with Signetti saying my defense has played relatively well. I'm gonna trust them. It's weird to say that when you're essentially in an away game, even though you weren't in a real away game, but you kind of were, right? And Miami in that moment felt like, hey man, they could drive down. You got a Carson Beck who has the experience,
who just did it in the last game.
And now the only thing I was concerned about is that when Carson Beck came in for that last drive, you could kind of see the trepidation in his eyes a little bit. Like, you're like, I don't know if that's confidence or fear. I can't tell.
But he made plays. He made plays on that drive, and then I wonder I still wonder if he was concussed on that late hit.
Well, listen,
because after the game he said his ears are ringing.
Let me say this about the late hit. Interesting time to call that one, because there were a lot of late hits in this game. Like, I think Mendoza took at least 4, or at least it felt like he did. I was like, Jesus, there was one that was so obvious, and that's the one that we had the bloody mouth. I was like, okay, what game are y'all watching? Because the kid threw the ball 10 minutes ago, and now the hit's coming. So that was interesting to call that on that drive. But nevertheless, it was significant, and it helped tremendously to get them downfield.
And it was a good call.
It was a good call. It wasn't the wrong call. 100%. It was not the wrong call. That's not what we're alluding to at all here. But let me also say this. The final play of Miami, the DB made a phenomenal play. And shout out to Richard Sherman, go Bob to the frat. And him breaking that down the way that he did on the internets. Staying in the way, and I forget the terminology that he used, but he said when you're a DB and your guy breaks, you stay in the break with him. You don't flatten your route to accommodate or to try to cheat something that's not there. Stay in your route with the guy. And he stayed there with him. And I'll probably not explain it exactly the way that he did, but the way that the DB stayed in that place and waited on the play. And it was an underthrown ball in every way. So that helped him tremendously. But still a great play by the DB. And wow, what an interception, what an ending, what a game. What a game.
Yeah, that DB, his name is I just had it. Jamari Sharp, who is who is, oh, by the way, is a Miami native. And so,
right. That was the other thing that was really fun. That the game was won by 2 guys who were rejected by Miami. That was cool. Yeah. It is going to make for a good movie one day. I have to admit. That's not a bad film to watch. IU. This is actually better than the original Hoosiers.
It is. So for one, they can tell the truth in the movie.
Well,
because we all saw it. Saying Hoosiers.
right.
And better. Rudy, for that matter.
Do better.
But
so I got a couple of questions to ask you in regards to this game and as we go forward. IU fielded 8 4- and 5-star players to Miami's 50. I will ask you this question. Is this the last time you will see a pure starred team? Meaning that, and by the way, even in the 55 stars that were reported, that statement is a little misleading because, there were 55 4- and 5-star players out there, but the other side of that is they were transferred. A lot of those guys are transfer guys. They were not raised in the Miami system and stayed there the whole time. And that's not how football works anymore. And so my question to you is, Clemson notoriously has said, we're never going to get into the transfer portal. If we do, we're taking 1 or 2 guys. It's not working out for Clemson. Right. It's not working out for Clemson. So will we ever see another pure, we're just going to recruit our guys and that's it team ever again win the national championship?
I don't want to say never, because who saw this coming with IU in the first place? So I won't say never. I just say it won't be likely, because it's going to be interesting with IU too, because you get it's easier to get buy-in when a lot of the players came with you from James Madison,
right,
Surratt and all that. So it's heading into year 3. You're not going to have as many of those James Madison guys as your core. So how many is going to be as willing to buy in? Hopefully, I mean, with Cignetti, I don't see how you can't buy into what he's selling. But that can go either way. But it's going to be interesting to see IU going forward. But I don't think I think Cignetti is like ruined coaching for everybody across the country.
Well, let me be very clear.
Kentucky fans saying if he can do it, Will Stein can do it in Kentucky. I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way. I mean, maybe I'm cheering for Will Stein, but it doesn't work that way.
Let me be very clear. And I think Stephen A., I don't often agree with everything Stephen A. says, but I absolutely agree with this. Yes, to your point. And you and I had the exact same thought. This is bad for a lot of people in college football. This is bad for a lot of people in sports, period. Think about this. In the span of 1 year, we've had 2 coaches take their teams from worst to first. Mike Vrabel in New England, and now Cignetti in Indiana. This is not the way it's supposed to work. You're not supposed to be able. Oh, by the way,
in the NFL, it's more common. It is more common. It is more common in the NFL. You see worst to first all the time.
Well, in the division, not to the championship game, but we've seen it now twice.
The Bengals did it.
Worst to first,
yeah. You see it because the NFL is built on parity, and so you'll see it more in the NFL. Plus,
it is now.
And if you're worse, you don't play the hardest schedule. You know what I mean?
That's true. That part is true. Yeah.
But in college football is different because there hasn't been parity. Now I do think there's the way college football is now. There is more parity now, so maybe you'll start seeing it more, but. Yeah, it's worst to first. It's not going to see all the time in college football.
And to be honest with you, in the pros, maybe worst to first is not the right way to say it, because a worst today only means what? Like it's just you came up short. It's probably more that you came up short than you are really that bad,
right? Because I mean, look at your team. Because y'all,
we lost 7 games in the fourth quarter,
and if you all win the division this year, it'll be considered worst to first. But it's not really that. And plus you had the building blocks. So that happens in the NFL. Team gets a bunch of injuries.
Yeah.
And they come back and win the division the next year.
By the way, similar to what happened to the Commanders this year, I can easily see the Chicago Bears regressing tremendously because they won 7 games in the fourth quarter and in the final minutes. So how sustainable is that? Same thing for the Kansas City Chiefs. went to the Super Bowl last year.
Won all them close games.
Completely out of the playoffs this year. Same reasoning we keep losing, close games. So, but Signetti has made it awful for a lot of teams. Let me tell you something. Kellen DeBoer is at home right now going, oh, damn.
Yeah, and you're going to have school presidents and everything looking at, why are we giving you all this money when he just did it with 8 4-star recruits? He didn't have a 5-star.
He didn't have a 5-star at all. He just was out there with some dudes. And somehow he coached those dudes up to a place where they won a national championship. 16-0 is crazy.
And people will take it for granted, like, oh, we can just do it. It takes so much of a perfect storm to pull off what Signetti pulled off. I mean, they don't have the big 4 or 5-star, but Surratt's going to play in the NFL. Mendoza's going to be in the NFL. Coogan's going to be in the league. Yeah. They're going to have NFL players, and they're not going to have the big names like, we was talking about the Miami thing earlier with Ray Lewis and Warren Sapp and all that stuff. But these are dudes that are going to play in the NFL. So it's not like they just did it with a ragtag bunch of misfits. And so, right. But it takes such a perfect storm, the perfect personalities to buy in, all that stuff. It was funny because we was at IU's practice on, what day was that? Saturday. Mm-hmm. And I went in the bathroom, and like the way because they were on FIU's campus, the way the bathroom was the same bathroom I'm using, the players are using in practice. So, there's a couple of them in there. So Cooper, the receiver, who's also going to play in the NFL, had his helmet just sitting on the bathroom sink. And I looked at him, I said, I was going to take a picture of your helmet sitting on the sink because it was funny. He started laughing. He's like, yeah, it is kind of funny. And so that's the type of dudes these are. These are just like nice, guys, humble dudes. And like, you don't get that all the time. And so it's people got to pump their brakes on like, oh, if they do it, we did it, we can do it. No, it takes a lot more than just luck. There's a way to do it, and you have to have the perfect storm for it to happen.
Well, it's the perfect storm. It's the perfect coach. It's the right moment. It's the belief in a culture and a system. It's a lot of things that have to go right, and a lot of things that mentally and emotionally have to go right for you to get to this place. Everybody's got to have the buy-in, and clearly IU from top to bottom. I knew they had buy-in when I watched Pat McAfee and the president of the university was like, yeah, we believed in this dude. Listen, and she had no reason to believe. There's nothing in the precedents of IU football that should make you believe in somebody. That's crazy. But she believed. They believe they got the right guy. Her and the athletic director believe they stole this guy. And they did. They absolutely did. So let's go back to the ACC, though, for just a second. Does this finally put the ACC back in the conversation nationally for truly a Power 4 conference, or does Miami is this a one-off? Is this Miami standing out there by themselves?
I think next year is a big prove it year for the ACC. We need Clemson, the Florida State. We talked about it last week. Clemson and Florida State need to bounce back, and then because the top tier is always going to be prestige-wise going to be Miami, Clemson, and Florida State. That second tier, I put Louisville probably at the top of that second tier. They need them. They need Louisville to bounce back. They need Virginia to have another good season because Virginia had a really good year. They just kind of fell off at the end.
Yeah.
And so they need to build the top 2 tiers back up. Because if you look at the SEC and the Big Ten, it's the same thing. It's top 2 tiers, and the rest of the conference, you can just throw them in a bag. The Kentuckies, even Vanderbilt had a great year, but the Kentuckies, South Carolina this year, Florida, on the Big Ten, Northwestern, you know what I'm saying, Penn State this year, and Maryland, right. Rutgers, all those. You can't tell me all those are much better than the Syracuses and North Carolinas of the world.
They're absolutely
not. Those teams. But now I will say the ACC did U of L a big favor with their schedule.
Yes.
Coming into next year.
Yes.
And so they don't have to play.
And I don't think that's accidental, by the way.
No, I don't either. They don't have to play either Clemson or Miami next year, and they get Florida State at home.
I don't think that is an accident in any way, form, or fashion. I think, and that's why I'm not going to disagree with what you're saying, but I'm going to say it a little differently. I think it's critical for that second tier to match what the top tier does. So, yes, Florida State needs to be good. Yes, Miami needs to be good. Yes, Clemson needs to be good. But also, Virginia Tech needs to come in being good. Virginia needs to be good. Louisville needs to be good. Because the more that second tier, because what it makes the SEC looks like it's the better conference is that not only was Alabama good, Georgia's good, Ole Miss is good, but Vanderbilt was really good. Texas was really good. They were right there. Both of those teams were right there. Texas A&M got in. So when there's at least 5 to 6 teams that are solidly in the top 25,
right?
Then it makes it look like everybody. This is a better conference than because I think here's what I really believe. I think the ACC it's the Big Ten, the SEC, and the ACC. I don't think the Big 12 is as good as people think that it is. And so if the ACC can take the Big 12 spot consistently going forward, then now you got something to talk about on a national level. Now they can become a true player in this conversation. If they can keep getting to this game or getting close to this game, Final Four,
and get more than one team, next year, let a Clemson or a Florida State or a Louisville or Virginia Tech make a run towards it. That would be huge. Massive. And I got a question for you.
Talk to me.
I got a hypothetical for you.
Okay.
And we all know that Bobby Petrino is now the offensive coordinator in North Carolina.
We do, which is crazy that he and Belichick in the same building.
And they play Louisville at North Carolina this year. What happens if Belichick gets picked up by one of these NFL teams?
Bobby Petrino is the new head coach, and they know that.
And he knows that.
He knows that. He's not a fool. Let me tell you something about Bobby Petrino. He's no fool. No. He thought for sure he was going to get the Arkansas job. He thought for sure that's what was going to happen. The problem is that they were reminded by their donors of his reputation.
Yes.
And
he's an evil genius.
He's an evil genius.
He is an evil genius because that's why he went to Carolina. Even if Belichick doesn't go this year, he's banking on Belichick's going to leave eventually.
And let me say this. I don't think Belichick is going this year. I don't think it's despite Rex Ryan's appeals on national TV for Bill Belichick to make it to the Bills, and even that sounds like it could be loaded.
See that happening.
Well, it sounded loaded. I was like, is he trying to do they have a deal in theory that Rex will go if Bill goes? That Rex will be the
Rex might think that. Rex been on TV begging for jobs for 3 years now.
Listen, quietly Rex called my guy and was like, hey, what's going on?
Who?
John Harbaugh. Yeah, his name got mentioned in the media, and so one thing we both know: when your name gets mentioned in the media, it's not for nothing. Right. Somebody has probably put you in a room somewhere and had that conversation, which is fine. But I don't think he'll get it. I don't think John's going to do that. I don't think Bill's going to get the opportunity. It feels like, and we'll get into. This is relevant to everything you're saying, because I do think. If Bill goes, Bobby Petrino is the insurance policy for North Carolina. That if he goes, we're still good because we got a quality head coach on the staff. So to answer your question, yes, Bobby Petrino would absolutely get that position. At least temporarily.
I do think if there's a chance for Bill to go, it would be Cleveland.
You think it's Cleveland, going back to Cleveland?
Yeah, because one, he has history there, of course.
Yeah, it's history.
Two,
yeah.
I don't think anybody else wants to touch him. I don't think Brady's not going
to. No.
No. Brady's not going to. Even though, I don't know, Brady's vindictive enough to be like, oh, you know what? I'm your boss now.
Right, you work for me now.
I'm the captain now.
Look at me, Bill. Look at me. You and your girlfriend. I'm the captain. I think the Browns.
To me, the Browns make the most sense.
Well, but still a long shot. Though. I don't think it's I think it's a long shot because You know what? I say that, and I don't know. I don't know what the Browns are doing. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's also the caveat you got to throw in there. It's the Browns.
It's the Browns. They can do anything. It's crazy over there.
Yes, because you got to throw in. You always have to throw in the bad team factor.
Yes.
When it comes to all
bad team, bad owner. Yes.
The Browns, anything dumb. The Browns the Jets, the Raiders.
They're absolutely here for the done. I want to bring something else up to you because I think this is important. Switching gears just a little bit here in college sports, because technically the deadline for this decision is today. They moved it to the 23rd, but there is still I guess an off chance. I'm sorry, tomorrow. I said today, but it's tomorrow. That there could be a vote where the college football playoff goes from 12 to 16 to 24. Now, just to reiterate for those who are not familiar with this story, the way it would work is that they'd go to 16 next year and for 27 and for 28. And then in 28 going into 29, you'd have 24 going forward, and hopefully that would be the end of it all. But there is resistance from the SEC to the 24. The SEC wants to stop at 16. The Big Ten wants to stop at 24 because of the thing that's hanging everything up is the automatic qualifiers. And it feels like the SEC is trying to basically lock in 8 of the 24 spots and then give Big Ten the other 8, and then everybody else has to scramble for the last 8, which is what it sounds like everybody's doing, what they're doing.
It's such BS. The only thing that could come out of going to 24 is they'll have to start the season earlier, so we'll get college football earlier. And
the portal will move much smoother because everything will probably be done by the New Year's Eve at that point, or at least 1 week after. And so now the rest of the January could be done with the portal. You could open it up.
Well, I don't know, because even next year, the national championship game next year is a week later than it was this year.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why I think the 16 could be good, because at some point you're going to have to.
They have to start the season earlier.
You're going to have to start the season earlier and end it earlier. Like, you can't keep pushing into. First of all, the NFL and these networks aren't going to allow you to keep pushing it in early because you're messing with the other money. And the NFL money is much, I was going to say it's much bigger, but it's probably about the same.
It's still bigger, but I think because you'll push into, in Christmas.
Yeah, you're starting to push into Christmas games.
Like NFL is already trying to take that over. I think they still won the ratings battle, even though the NBA games were far better than the NFL games.
They were really good this year. The NBA
and they scheduled it better too.
Yeah, they did a good
job. But then, like, if you get when Christmas falls on the weekend, you're gonna have all 3 of them.
Yeah, and that's crazy. That's to me is bananas.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's a nightmare too if your team is playing.
And so if you go to 24, does that just get rid of the bowls altogether? Because when are they going to play?
Well, listen.
Are they going to start? They'll have to include more of those bowls. Now, I'm a big fan of including the Pop-Tart Bowl in the playoffs. I'm all for it.
Why you love the Pop-Tart Bowl?
Who doesn't love the Pop-Tart Bowl?
Who doesn't love Pop-Tarts?
It would be fantastic to see that as part of a playoff and that stadium in Orlando. If you've been there,
Listen, we had a good time in Orlando. I'm not gonna hold you. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Orlando's a good stadium.
That stadium, good stadium.
Stadium's not great.
It's been time. It's twice I've had to jump the fence to get out of that stadium because they closed it so damn early in Orlando.
Right. Stadium's not great. I'll admit that.
Literally have had to hop the fence to get out of the stadium.
I agree. Stadium's not great. And it's a little confusing. Like, it's like, where am I supposed to? Like, they don't,
there is this large field area around the stadium, and it's there's a lot of barbed wire.
You're listen,
and
greatly selling large. Like it's you could almost put another stadium or another field on
at
that,
least a practice field there,
right in that space. Yeah.
And then there's always the ballroom dancing convention that's going on in the same hotel as the media hotel, which I actually enjoy. It's fun to see that.
That part's fun. That part's a good time. That part's a good time.
And we make fun of it, but actually, because I think it's there's at least 4 bowls that are played in that stadium. Yes. And the setup for our needs is perfect because all the pregame stuff, the parades and all that stuff that they do is right across. We can walk to everything. It's so that part is good.
That part's great. That part's great. Yeah.
Y'all can stay open past midnight.
Yeah, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do. But the decision will come here in the next 48 hours.
I'm convinced they're going to go to 24. If not on this vote, they will eventually because the Big Ten and the SEC are trying to get all their. Oh, Charlie's not on the show. They're trying to get all their shitty teams in there. And so, I mean, if 8 spots, I mean, that is half each one of those conferences, over half for the SEC. So that means you will get the South Carolinas into the playoff.
And I say 8. I'm being facetious, but not really though, because
no, you're not. No, it's not great. You'll get Maryland will make the playoff.
Yeah. That's what they want Northwestern in for some reason. Like
who wants to see that?
Northwestern in. I want Northwestern in like I want James Madison in. I don't.
So I think the one thing, the argument that may help is because the teams with the byes fared so poorly so far. Indiana's the only one with the win.
Yeah.
That a lot of these schools are gonna be like, we don't want the bye.
Right.
A lot of coaches are gonna be saying that.
The bye was a serious detriment because you lose all momentum, and it feels like you got to ramp up in the game, and that has
because not only do you have a bye week, you have a bye week in which you don't find out who you're playing, and then you have a short week.
Well, I wouldn't even call it a bye week. I would say it's a bye week, and here's what I mean by that. By the time you get to the field, it's 2-3 weeks away from the time that because there's a week in between the games, and then there's another week when the first game plays. So you're like, by the time you actually hit the field, you haven't played in almost 3 weeks.
And then a lot of times you find out you have a short week to prepare for the other team because you don't find out who you're playing.
Right.
Meanwhile,
they've been preparing for you for 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's very, very,
I can
very
see
tough.
it, but at the same time, though, while the coaches won't want it, these presidents, they don't care. All they see is dollar signs.
They don't give a flying.
The coaches will make the argument, but
On 3 is reporting that Indiana won the transfer portal battle, although there's still some movement going on. I don't know, and this is where it gets a little bit confusing because technically I think the portal, your name getting in the portal, that part of it I think is over. So now it's just a matter of.
I thought it was, but then I see players going in today. I've seen players going in this morning.
Well, I think
they extended for Miami and Indiana.
I was just gonna say the ones that are in the playoffs, I think they got a slight extension, like a week or 2 extension. But if you weren't in the playoffs, I think it's over for you to get in. Now, finding your school, I don't know what the deadline for that is. That's the one thing that I'm trying to figure out. And the portal's so confusing, it's crazy. But we're headed toward the end of that as well, because I think by the end of January, maybe, or it's got to be coming up fast.
I'm not 100% sure. We could check. I think today might be the deadline for the portal.
It could be, and
I know it was January 2nd was when it opened. I want to say 22nd is the closing day. If only we had computers that we are currently sitting on to find this out.
Let's see. Okay. Oh, it's the 25th, so Sunday.
Okay. Yeah.
So, well, okay. So the entry deadline is the 24th, 25th.
Let's say college football. See, the main transfer window is a single 15-day period from January 2nd to 16th, which I don't think that's accurate because, like I said,
No, I think it's accurate for everybody else.
For everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because Mendoza's brother transferred right after the championship.
Oh, yeah.
Which was wild.
Wait, he was like, well, it's been real.
Well, yeah, once they brought in a Hoover from TCU.
Right. Oh, yeah, once he came in, everybody knew he was out. There's no way. And by the way, that probably was the right decision. Yeah. Because he's not beating Hoover. I'm actually surprised that TCU allowed Hoover to get out the building. But he is gone, and so now, okay. Well, we'll get that information as the show goes on, or we'll have it for you next week because it's really we're kind of waiting to pronounce a portal winner because we don't really know yet, and it's not over. So, I mentioned Indiana because there's some other teams in the ACC that did very, very well also, and it will greatly affect. It has greatly affecting the way too early rankings. Miami's up in that mix. Louisville's up in that mix as well. So is Virginia and Virginia Tech. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out by the end. But nevertheless, that's your college football coverage and ACC coverage.
Oh, and breaking news. I saw this email this morning. I didn't care, but I got to seen it on social media.
Okay.
U of L Athletics announced a $2 million gift from Isaac and Kerry Ross, approved by the ULA to fund stadium lighting.
That'll be interesting. Okay, stadium lighting.
They're gonna upgrade the lighting system so they can flicker on touchdowns. That's basically what that is.
There you go. Nice. All right.
And shout out to a young lady that I knew a little bit in Lexington when she was there, and now she's a reporter. And she's the main sports anchor in Miami now, Sarah Cardona. I got to run into her and talk to her a little bit while we were down there. Super sweet lady. Young lady just doing her thing down in Miami. She's killing it down there. So shout out to her because I got to run into her.
Not a bad gig
while we were down there. Not a bad place to live.
Not a bad gig. I'm sure people enjoy the atmosphere down there.
And I tell you what. Put a last thing about this championship. We went to Miami's practice. Well, for what they call practice.
Right.
I'm still kind of salty at Cristobal for that.
Okay.
Because we got there and they did nothing. I mean, nothing. And it was on, it was on purpose.
Yeah.
Their indoor facility is ginormous.
Really?
It is humongous. It's so big that there was a golfer in there working on his golf swing on some golf machine, totally out of the way from everybody in the indoor facility.
Wow.
I mean, it is enormous. I mean, it's about twice the size of what U of L's indoor facility. Now, really? U of L's indoor facility is relatively small compared to most of them anyway.
Yeah.
But it is enormous.
Wow.
That campus is beautiful.
Shout out to the U. Shout out to the U. Well, let's jump over to the NBA, the Press and Pros. That's the other show that we do, and we've been lately.
Can we get the open today?
Would you like the opening? We haven't
had that opening.
We haven't done the opening in quite some time. For my brother Kendrick Haskins, I will try to bring up the opening if it's possible. But technology being such as it is, it's not.
I wish I had an NBA shirt down here. I'd switch while they open.
You switch? Well, I tell you what. You have a minute because I got to find the opening. That's number one.
Well, I don't.
Then I got to load the opening. I think this is it. I think this is the opening to the show. So if you got a second while the opening is going, let's see if you got the chops to pull this off. Is this it? Let's see. One of these is the opening. Is this it?
Scoop in, y'all, we got it. 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 Scoop in, y'all, we got it.
That's how we go. This is how it games, the Press and Pros. That's how we go. This is how it games, the Press and Pros. That's how we go. This is how it games, the Press and Pros. That's how we go.
Yeah. We got the 2 best theme songs on the internet right now. I'm just saying. It's amazing.
Got a old man catch his breath, had to run up the steps.
You look good. You look good. It's weird that you're repping the Nets, but we're color coordinated, so I ain't mad at it. Like it feels like we're playing this whole time. Yeah, right. Mushroom shirt, mushroom belt. That's how it works. All right. So we got some updates for you in the NBA. This is we're headed toward what I think is about to be a very. At first, I thought it was going to be an active, and I still think it may be, but not for the reasons I initially thought. I thought it was going to be active because all these teams were seeing a window where they could win the national championship, and some of that is true, but this also feels like some of these teams are saying we need to dump salary and
I think it's going to be a lot of salary dumps.
Yes, like we need to dump salary, and because, well, the number one reason why a lot of teams are dumping salaries because I don't know what's going on with this situation with Giannis. Like initially, I thought, go ahead.
What did he say last night? Because like I've got First Take on here, but of course I can't hear it.
Right.
And I saw that he did. They showed a soundbite from him, and anytime they show something from Giannis, that means he done said something. So
well, I don't know because last night there was a weird thing. Last night's game was weird. I think they lost the game or something like that.
Yeah, Shea dropped 40 on him,
and he was upset. And I think he was saying players were being selfish or whatever. So Giannis has spoken out more this year than he has in his entire career. Which leads me to believe that the guy is a phenomenal chess player because he's moving the pieces of exit strategy around the board at a very efficient rate. Every time he steps to a microphone, there's another piece being played to where it looks like he's going to go. So last night was probably about the selfish comment that he made, but the night before was about they asked him, what's the possibility of you being here all season? He said, not sure. so something, and then the other part that plays into this conversation is that where there was this ramp up of Ja Morant in Miami, and now that's slowed down. There was this ramp up of Anthony Davis to Atlanta, and now that's slowed down. It feels as though everybody is saying until we get definitive information from Milwaukee that we're going to have to trade him, there's not a lot we can do.
And I think there's going to be a lot of trades that end up not happening. I think John's going to stay in Memphis now.
Well,
after his comment the other day, he's like, I got the logo on my back. This is where I want to be.
So then by the way, that's a turn of statements because it has not been that he's been saying that prior to the other night. Now, the other thing that is going to force something to happen is the Jimmy Butler injury. Jimmy Butler going down is the worst possible thing that could have happened to Mike Dunleavy because Mike Dunleavy could kind of hide behind the fringeness of what Golden State had been doing to this point. Now that is about to come, that has come to a screeching halt, that they are no longer a fringe playoff team, but now they are essentially a lottery team without Jimmy Butler. They have to make some decisions. They have to decide what they're going to do.
I did see a possible Kuminga for DeMar DeRozan.
Well, I tell you what, let's get into it in a little game I like to call Pack Your Bags. Some people are going to have to pack their bags, and we could actually start with Jonathan Kuminga if you like, because we're already here.
And like Golden State management, when he demanded the trade, it's like, shut up, like Kevin Hart.
Listen, I'll be honest with you.
A little respect for that kid.
When Jonathan Kuminga demanded a trade, that could be the most delusional demand in the history of the NBA. Like, fam, you are in no position to demand anything. Like,
right.
Have several seats. Like, it ain't no, stop. And
like, shut up.
and here's the two things that could be true. Mike Dunleavy said, when there's a demand, when you demand something, there should be a demand for you. That is true. But also, you have done as much to destroy that demand as humanly possible. You and Steve Kerr have killed whatever demand could have been there because you don't play him and you don't respect him. So
and like, but it's crazy because his teammates do, because I've seen Draymond Green rave about him and see Steph say some things about him, and it's like
the
whole situation is weird. The situation is super weird.
It is. They seem to love him.
I guess shout out to the Warriors for not letting anything get out, reasons why it's still so confusing about what's going on behind the scenes. But it's the strangest situation, because when he's played, when he finally got in during the playoffs last year, he played well. When he's played, he plays well. The teammates love him.
Yeah.
But they don't play him. He doesn't get consistent playing time. I think part of that too is because his game and Jimmy Butler is the same game. Right. See, Major? Free Kuminga. I don't get it. I don't understand it, especially when Golden State's struggling like they are. They have a really good player on their team. He could be a quality third or fourth option on the team when you have Steph.
Right.
And because right now, even with Jimmy Butler, how is he not the third option? Who else? Podziemski, no disrespect to Podziemski, but come on.
Right.
Kuminga's a better player than that. So I don't understand this Kuminga situation. It's the weirdest thing I've seen.
Yeah, I don't get it either. But also I kind of get it. And here's what I mean by that. I see a kid who, for whatever reasons, if you want to blame the administration and management and the coaching staff that they're stunting his growth, then I can get on board with that. But if you want to say to me, for a kid who's that talented, he should be further along, I can get on board with that. Like, I think it's a combination of it all. And unfortunately, I think maybe all of it is true, which is why it's so difficult to assess what he is. Now, ironically, one of the teams that's saying, well, we might take a fly at him is the Lakers. But I don't understand that, because don't you already have like 3 Kumingas?
The Lakers.
If you're the Lakers, don't you have 3 Kumingas in Vanderbilt, in Rui, in
Connect?
Right. You got 3 guys that are playing under potential right now. You don't need a 4th.
So the Lakers in roster construction have not been hand in hand in a while.
Well, which brings us to that conversation. Because, yes, that is a team that needs to do something. That is a team that has a massive Austin Reeves problem. But also, other than big moves, do you trust, I ask you this question, do you trust Rob Pelinka to make roster moves? Anthony Davis is of the world, good at that. Why am I drawing a blank? Luka Doncic's, I can pull that off with my eyes closed. Rob Pelinka is great at that. But roster guys, he has sucked. He has not been great.
I'm with you on that, because even with the Luka AD deal, he got that because he fleeced his homeboy,
right?
And because that was his buddy,
right?
Nico was his buddy, and so that's how that happened. As far as any other moves outside of that, can you point to anything? They did a good job, and because they did do a good job in drafting Connect, but they haven't used him right, or he hasn't, whatever. He's had some games here and there, and he's developing. But outside of that, free agent moves or trade moves, you can't point to anything that he's done that's been significant. Because like I said, you can point at AD and Luka Doncic, but that's the equivalent of Danny Ainge giving Kevin McHale, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce.
That's not that hard.
Not Paul Pierce. Who was it? He basically gave the Celtics Kevin Garnett for a bag of donuts. And so you can't. I don't give him really credit for that. So outside of that, he has not proven that he can construct a roster. Because if you look at their roster outside of what's LeBron and Luka, and I guess you can give him credit for Austin Reeves a little bit, but the roster construction is not great.
He has not been able to build a sustainable roster around either player.
I just looked over and saw Stephen A. Smith. His face he's making just now, and I just had to laugh.
Yeah. Well, listen, it happens a lot. More times than we care to admit.
He's making his face.
I mean, I'm sure it's justified in today's the stuff that's going on.
Well,
like, there's some weird stuff going on.
Ryan Clark's talking, so I can see why.
Yeah. People are really not feeling Ryan these days. I don't know what the deal is with Ryan is falling.
I used to love Ryan Clark, and I met Ryan Clark once, and he was nice, super nice guy. But like now, he's just say stuff, dude. Like yesterday, he was like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning weren't generational talents. Like,
yeah, I did. Yeah, that was a
just saying stuff for the sake of saying stuff at this point. He's like Acho.
Yeah,
which I met the other Acho at the game the other night. He was a nice dude. I feel like he's the normal one.
Yeah, I feel like he's hangoutable.
Yeah,
like
he's nice.
He can roll with the crew, but the other one, I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, you like attention a lot.
I'm good. A lot.
And that's what Ryan Clark is at this point.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what the Lakers are gonna do, but their biggest problem is that they got an Austin Reeves issue. Do you pay that dude 5 years, $241 million? And if you do, then you're basically admitting that you're going to have a horrible defensive front court for the next 5 years. Do you want to do that? And because you have to build your roster around that move at that point. And I don't know if you can win a championship.
But they are in
a backcourt being awful.
Yeah, people don't talk about it enough, I don't think. But the Lakers are in a predicament. Because, like you said, they have that Austin Reeves problem. You got the albatross of an old LeBron hanging around where LeBron can't be your number one player anymore and win a title. He's fitting it. And even as a number two, I don't think you can win a title with LeBron. I think LeBron has to be like a third option at this point in his career. And so you can't get a third option. So Ayton has been okay. He has his games where he's DeAndre Ayton, and he has his games where he looks like the DeAndre Ayton we thought we was going to get.
Right.
And so and they have no bench. I mean, because like you said, Austin Reeves is a really, really good piece.
And he's earned his money.
He's earned his money.
That's the problem. He has earned his money. He's done his job.
If you're being honest, you're not going to win a title with Austin Reeves as your second or third option. You're not.
100%.
Especially when Luka's your number one option and Luka doesn't guard anybody, and Austin Reeves can't.
Right.
You can hide one person on defense. You can't hide three, which are hiding Luka, Austin, and LeBron.
100%. So there lies your problem.
They are in a world of trouble going forward. I think they can maintain. I think they're good enough this season to where they can get home. They can probably get home court advantage. They can finish in the top four, I think.
I'll say this. They're in trouble in the sense of, I don't know, they can't win a title this year. But the irony is that they're not actually in that much trouble. But they're at a serious crossroad. Because all this money comes off the books. They got like 5 players that are at the end of their contracts. They can take Aiden off the contract if they want to. LeBron, I'm almost at this point certain that they're not re-signing LeBron. This is over after this.
They're entering, because the thing is, they're kind of in a purgatory because they're good enough to get home court advantage. They are. They're not beating the Thunder.
No, not yet. Not yet. No. There's some moves away from beating the Thunder, and
they're not going to be Houston
and the Spurs.
I mean, the Houston, Spurs, and Thunder, the Lakers are not beating.
Yeah,
and may not even get a win against them, especially the Thunder. But
I don't know if that's true. But
the thing is,
though,
but they're not gonna win.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, going forward after that, you're almost in a rebuild situation.
Well, yes and no, because you got to decide what you're rebuilding with. That's the problem. And when do you start the rebuild? That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because to me, the Austin Reeves window is now, because you can't let that dude walk for nothing. So
Right.
Today, on January 22nd, you got to make a decision and say, okay, are we going all in on Giannis? This is why the Giannis thing is so important, because either you force the hand of Giannis and make that dream come true now, or you just move on and go get the other pieces that you need to get, because you can't let Austin Reeves walk for nothing. That's the problem.
That and mixed with you got the unpopular decision on what to do with LeBron if LeBron doesn't just go ahead and retire.
There is no unpopular. There's nothing to decide there. That's done. I think that's already decided. They're not re-signing LeBron. Why would you do that? Unless LeBron is willing to take a massive pay cut, which he's not. You know that he's not.
But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
It's the Lakers. They have star power. They love their stars. They're still not a bigger star in the league than LeBron. So maybe you sign him to another 1 year. I don't think you sign him to another max.
He is not getting another contract. I'm telling you now. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
If this was
I don't disagree with you.
If this was Jenny Buss, I would completely agree with you. It's the star powers. This is Mark Walters.
This is Mark. Yeah.
Mark wants to win. He don't give a flying flip about your star power. He wants the right play. Now, because he knows that the brand is the star. You come play for this brand, i.e. the Dodgers, you're a star. So the same thing with the Lakers. You come play for this brand, you're a star. We'll build the star in you based on the winning that we're going to do. But what I got to do is fill somebody that's going to fill these seats. He gets that. So they're going to use that same blueprint with the Lakers. That's why the conversation stopped with LeBron this summer. And there was no more, we're going to re-sign you. That's why Rich Paul is out here saying reckless stuff, because he wants to see his guy win one more time. He's doing his job. I ain't mad at Rich Paul for that. It's stupid, but no, it is stupid because
the stuff he says is stupid. Yes.
Well, because at this point, you got to know that the landscape of the NBA has changed for you. The leverage that you've had
is not there.
It's not there anymore. That's over. Now you're just another guy doing a thing.
And I tell you what, and you touched on Jeannie Buss, and you were 1,000% correct.
Yeah.
That's why they're in the predicament too, because she gave LeBron that no trade clause.
Yes.
If they didn't do that, they could have traded and gotten out from under this and been rebuilt already. They should have traded, because they should have traded LeBron last year.
Yeah, they overcommitted, and I get it. I understand why you did it.
I understand it.
Your dad did it. I got it. I got it.
Like you said, that was Jeannie. If it's this dude now,
Mark is not interested in none of that.
Doesn't happen.
Mark is not interested in none of that. And that's why Laker fans are excited, because we're finally going to get to see a franchise ran with modern philosophies, like real modern philosophies. So I think they're in rebuild mode. And by the way, vis-a-vis, this could be Rob Pelinka's last season.
And him and LeBron are one.
They could leave together. They could be
Yeah.
leaving together. It would not surprise me if Rob Pelinka is let go and Mark gets his guy in that seat.
And I don't want this to be just a crap on LeBron show, because it's not that.
It's not that. It's just everybody comes to the end of the road.
Yeah, I mean,
and we're at the end of the road.
He serves. Yeah, LeBron can still go out there and get you 25, 8, and 6 on a given night, a few games. He probably can still average 20, 27, and 4, whatever. But that's not the question.
No.
The question is, can you win a title? Nobody outside of LeBron fans, nobody believes LeBron's going to win another title unless he's on the bench somewhere.
Right. Can you win a title as he's your number 1 or 2? Which, to me, that answer is no. And then also,
they've missed the playoffs with him as the number 1 or 2 the last 2 seasons.
Right. And then also, how long do you want that culture to permeate throughout your locker room? That's the other part. And that's an important part, because I'm going to tell you something as a Laker fan, and I'll look right down the barrel of the camera. There's a reason why LeBron is one of the greatest players of all time, but not by Laker fans considered one of the greatest Lakers of all time. There's a reason for that. because
his attitude about missing the All-Star, not being an All-Star starter this year and last year, has been. I'm like, this is when people talk about why is Mike greater than LeBron. It has nothing to do with. I mean, yes, it's always going to be 6-0.
Right.
It's not just that. It's little stuff like that.
Yeah.
The way Jordan didn't want to start in his last All-Star game, and here's LeBron pouting 2 years in a row.
Right.
that stuff plays into the conversation.
Which, by the way, the truth of it is that LeBron does not, with all due respect to him, does not deserve to start unless you're going to announce a retirement.
You haven't played half the.
You haven't played.
You've already missed too many games from being in any awards. So why should you?
That's what I'm saying. Why that doesn't make sense, LeBron. Unless you're retiring. Now, if you're announcing your retirement, I'll stall you out. You've earned the right to retire. To start at that point. Just as
this is why LeBron ain't. This is why LeBron doesn't retire. Doesn't expect to retire this season because LeBron's going to want the Kareem treatment around the
Kobe,
league.
Yeah, Kareem. The tour. Yeah.
So he's going to announce his retirement in the summer before the season starts because he wants the tour.
Well, I don't know where he's going to play though. That's the only thing. And again, I just don't think it's going to be the Lakers. I could be wrong. I don't think
I've got a feeling he's going to end up finishing his career in Cleveland.
Which, by the way, is not bad for them.
It's not bad if he's. It depends on his respect level for Donovan Mitchell at the end of the day.
I would think at this stage in his career, well, let me say it differently. Jesus.
Because I know what you're saying.
You said differently. I would hope at this stage of his career, he understands, but it's hard for these guys, man. So these guys
hard.
They don't know how to get off the stage.
So many coaches have said the hardest player to coach is a former star.
Let me say something.
They don't realize they're not stars anymore. It was like with Carmelo. It's like that with AI at the end of his career. The NBA retired Allen Iverson 2 years before he announced his retirement.
Right. It's tough.
I mean, even a local guy with Rondo. I mean, the NBA retired Rondo way before he retired. It's hard for them to realize that they're not the man anymore, and I understand it, and I totally get it. I
get it. So now let me give everybody the hot take that you've been waiting for, because here's what I see as a Laker fan. Their biggest conundrum with this entire situation is that if approached by Milwaukee and they say Giannis wants to be a Laker, you have to do the deal. Because it's Giannis. You have to do it. But can I be honest with you? That's not the best deal out there for the Lakers. That's not even the ideal player to play besides Luka.
Please do tell.
The ideal player to play by Luka, and this is where the dominoes would have to fall.
I got a feeling I know where you're going, but I want you to say
it's Jaren Jackson.
Jaren Jackson. I knew that's where you were going.
It's Jaren Jackson.
You hinted at that last week.
Because he doesn't
need the ball.
He doesn't need the ball. There's no ego, and he's going to still give you 25 and 15. And he's picking pop. He's got Luka's back on defense. He's the perfect player to play besides Luka.
And when you said that last week, at first I was like, that's crazy, but then more and more I thought about it. And we talked it out last week. And I was like, you're right. You're right. You were right. Because he does not need Giannis is ball dominant. Jaren is not. Jaren is not that. And is he as a player as Giannis? No.
No, but it's not about that.
But it's about how he fits in with Luka.
And how you can build around those two players. Because now it becomes way easier to build around those two players. Because
now let's play NBA GMs.
Okay.
How do you make that trade? Because Memphis already maxed him out.
Yes.
LeBron ain't going to Memphis.
No. So the way to make that trade is number one, LeBron, where do you want to go? Just tell us where you want to go.
Okay, for hypothetical purpose, let's just say he goes back home to Cleveland.
Perfect. So he's gone. Now, Memphis, you get our number ones, you get Cleveland, a couple of number one. You get at least one number one from Cleveland. Maybe we have to throw another team in there.
You're gonna have to throw another team because Cleveland's pick will be too low.
Right. So that's at least 3 to 4 number ones that you're going to get plus some players. So, and well, you can take some of our expiring contracts and like Rui, like Austin. Austin's got to be in that deal. Wherever he goes, doesn't matter, but he's got to be in that deal. And so it's maybe connect. So now you've got shooters in Cleveland. You can start, and this is contingent also that they trade Ja Morant, which I although you said you don't believe he's going, I do believe he's going because I don't see how you walk it back. You've done so much damage to this kid. I don't see how you walk this back. So
basically, you're saying Memphis is going to go into total rebuild mode and trade the two biggest stars they've had in the history of their franchise.
Well, the rumor that's floating around the internets and also through NBA circles is that if Ja goes, Jaren's going to ask out. He doesn't want to see that. He doesn't want to stay. And if that is true, and I do believe that to be,
I do believe that to be true.
Yeah, I do believe that to be true. Then it makes sense for them to get the haul and to go into straight OKC mode. Now we're OKC. Let's get the best that we can get. Let's start the rebuild process right now. Let's get players that want to be here and let's build our thing. So,
and reason why I can see what you're saying is because this year's draft is loaded.
If you're ever going to start, well, that's why the Giannis thing is such a problem because this is the draft. This is the one where you can go 1 through probably 15 and get an impact player for your franchise. So you want to fall into the 15, but also on the back end, you can still might be able to get a couple of steals in the back end of the draft. So this is an interesting draft right now. So if you're a franchise that's teetering, you're right there. Maybe it can cross over to the other side, or you can go get a key piece. You want this Giannis thing to get wrapped up. It's mucking up the waters.
And so the trade deadline is what, the week before the All-Star game?
February 5th. February 5th. Yeah.
And so we're what, 2 weeks
2.5,
away?
two, almost 3.
It's gonna be as interesting of a trade deadline, and the draft is gonna be super interesting.
Yes.
Because there's gonna be so many moves made, so many moves attempted to be made. Because even if because I was thinking about Ja and Giannis. Even if Giannis, Ja, and Jaren all make it past the trade deadline with their respective teams.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee after draft day that they'll all be on their respective team.
I don't think they will be, but that also mucks up the waters because now
I throw another interesting team in there too.
Yeah.
What do you do if you're the Heat?
Well, that's where I was going. Because if Giannis makes it to the summer, now you have a whole nother set of problems. Because the Heat gotta finally make a decision. The Mavs gotta finally make a decision. The Lakers will be booty hole out because they're gonna lose Austin Reeves. You can't pay Austin Reeves $241 million. You cannot do it. So now you got a gaping hole next to Luka that you gotta fill. Now you got the money to go fill it, and maybe you think, let's stand pat. Maybe we can draw Giannis for nothing. Maybe you can, but maybe you can't. And if you don't, then what the heck do you do, right? So now you're going to start the clock on wasting Luka's years, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a weird thing going on because Bam, what is he going to do at some point? Giannis, what is he going to do at some point?
Is Miami ever going to be willing to get rid of Hero?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know why they're hanging on to him like this.
Miami fans don't either. They love him, and Tyler's great, but Tyler's hurt all the time. He's a good player.
He's not franchise. He's replaceable.
But they think he is. They've held on to him throughout James Harden. They've held on to him. It was somebody else that they was like, no, they didn't. I want to say KD may have been one of those players that they didn't. because they didn't want to get rid of
KD,
Hero. I know James Harden. Yes,
Yeah.
and may not have been KD, but definitely Lillard and James Harden are reasons they did not
They
let
pull the trigger on those deals,
because they wanted to keep Hero. What do? Another two more sneaky franchises and all this too.
Yeah,
Indiana and Boston.
So Indiana,
they're gonna find because Indiana's off. They're gonna be in the lottery most likely, and Boston's gonna be close to. Boston might still scrap around and make it into the playoffs, but they're gonna have a higher draft pick than normal.
No, Boston's doing good.
Yeah, but
Boston's doing good. The problem with Boston is they're paying a ton in like they are top heavy. Boston's number 2 in the Eastern Conference, but they're top heavy.
They're top heavy, and I don't know if that's sustainable because
it's not sustainable. You can't pay $300 million.
Well, plus just for the season, Philly's coming.
Philly is coming. And by the way, Philly's got some challenges financially. Like there's some teams that are going to have to dump salary. Like and Boston, I think is going to be. I just don't think.
But like just this season, I keep hitting this thing. Yeah. This season, Philly's coming. I think New York will catch Boston. They're only a game and a half behind them. Toronto, I don't know, and then Cleveland should be playing better than they are. I don't know what Cleveland's doing. They almost blew that game last night against Charlotte.
Right.
So, but those 4 teams that are right behind Boston can all catch Boston. And so,
yes, as good as Boston's been playing, that is 1,000% correct.
And honestly, if I'm Boston management, I'm like, yay, we're winning, but damn it.
Do you know who I agree? Do you know who Boston should be thinking about doing a trade with? This is going to sound crazy to you, but I don't know if I'm wrong. That Karl-Anthony Towns thing could be it for them.
This Karl-Anthony Towns thing kind of came out of nowhere.
Well, yes and no.
I haven't heard that for Boston. I can't see the Knicks trading him to Boston though. That's not going to happen.
Well, but maybe because they got to get out from under that Jaylen Brown contract. As much as they love Jaylen, and Jaylen has been awesome for them. And personally, I would hitch my wagon to Jaylen. That's where I would hitch my wagon to.
What do you think about Cat going to the Lakers?
So
because I think that's more likely than him going to Boston.
let me answer that question. That's it. Because we just had this discussion. And I've had this discussion with several of my Laker fan friends. I don't know what Cat is. At some point, you are what your reputation says you are. And I'm starting to think that there's something fundamentally off with Cat. Because it seems like every time he's with the team for an extended period of time and other stars join that team, that's when it becomes a problem. He was fine in Minnesota when he was the man. But once Anthony got there, or once Jimmy's there, now there's problems.
Well, he was with Jimmy. Jimmy's been a problem everywhere he's been.
Agreed. But I'm saying him and Jaylen ain't getting along. So
is that true? I don't know. Is that true?
Well, listen, if you believe what's being reported, there's some, as it's stated, internal conflicts, whatever that means, and he's not a fan of Mike Brown. So Mike Brown is whatever. I don't know what the heck is going on. Apparently, Cat felt the way about him hugging on Draymond Green the other day, like this. So
he coached Draymond,
right? I don't understand.
Well, at the same time, though, Cat and Draymond got into it in that game.
Right, but it wasn't getting into it like they was throwing punches. Like, calm down. It wasn't that serious.
He was normally. As a matter of fact, Draymond came on after and was praising Cat after the game.
Right, so it wasn't that serious. I don't understand what the big deal is, but there's something that's not right with the Knicks right now. And one of the things that seems to be happening with the Lakers is that they're finally starting to get some team chemistry and culture, and you don't want to muck up that culture. So
I forgot to throw the Nuggets in there as teams that the Lakers aren't beating in a series too.
Yeah. Exactly. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. What would you do? What would you do with that situation?
With the Knicks?
Yeah, with Cat going to the Lakers.
If I'm the Knicks, I ride it out with Cat. They get over it. Y'all go on a shopping spree in Manhattan or something, whatever. Y'all figure that out because this is the best Knicks team we've seen since Ewing was there.
Yeah.
You ride that, you figure it out. Y'all grown men, y'all figure this out. Because you're not going to get, especially this season, they have all of that going on, and they're still in third place, a game and a half out of second in the conference. And
it's not been good the last 10 games, but that doesn't mean it can't turn around.
They won by 100 last night.
Right. Right. So and you're not far off from.
You're not far off. You're right there. I mean,
you're right there.
Opened up for you this season that you ride it. Y'all figure that out. I'm not trading Cat.
I agree. I agree.
Just
I wouldn't do anything.
Y'all bickering. Every team bickers. I mean, you think the Bulls got along?
No.
You look at Mike and Scotty act now.
Right. Clearly, they didn't get along.
Obviously, Scotty's a crazy person. So
let's go through some of these names. I think Kuminga should pack. I think that's over.
Kuminga's gone.
Yeah. I think Ja is gone because I just don't see how you walk this back. I think
he stays. I think Memphis is too scared to get rid of their first big star.
Initially, I thought Zion was going to stay because
I don't think anybody wants him.
Well, I just heard that the Wizards do.
What are the Wizards doing?
Well,
they might hire Belichick.
We think we can win. Hey, sports is sports. What difference does it make?
He's a leader of men.
He's a leader of men. I could see that. I could see Zion actually going to team up with Trey. 100%. I can see that. I can see that. But more so than seeing that the Wizards do that, I think for what Dumars is trying to build there, I think you got to get that dude out of the building. I think you got to get him out of the building. And I think you got to get Jordan Poole out of the building.
Or you got to get one, and it's not room for the two of them.
Right. Get the tomfoolery out of the building. and because you got 4 solid young players.
Yeah.
Let them build what they're building.
Yeah, because Trey Murphy, low-key, is really, really good.
Yeah, I don't understand the Herb Jones conversation at all.
No,
I love Herb Jones.
Yeah, I do too.
I love Herb Jones. If you want to give us to the Lakers, we'll take him right now.
Him or Trey Murphy. Yeah.
Yeah, or Trey Murphy. We'll put him in a hat. You choose for us. Yeah. We'll take them both. So, but Zion, I think now, the other team, I don't understand why they're waiting on what Giannis does. Because I don't think Milwaukee wants any of those parts. Maybe Kyrie, maybe Kyrie.
Cooper Flag. You'd have to do Cooper Flag and Kyrie for them to give up Giannis or whatever Dallas has.
I'll just say this. I think Dallas needs to have a full-on fire sale, put them players on the front line of American Airlines Center and sell. Because it does not make sense to hold on to any of those players. Cooper Flag is playing fantastic. He's having the rookie season that you want him to have, where he's learning, he's understanding the game. It's slowing down for him quickly, which is amazing. He's the pick that you thought you were getting.
Yeah.
He's your Luka replacement. So now that you have your Luka replacement, start building around your Luka replacement. Real pieces around your Luka replacement. And by the way, if you go ahead and tank this year and get a top 5 pick, you could end up with either a great point guard in Mikael Brown, or you could end up with a great complementary player with the young man from North Carolina, or Dybinasty, or a myriad of other players that are playing great in college basketball right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it does not make sense to keep mucking around with any of this. God bless Kyrie. Thank you for your service, but you got to go.
But you know what? You know what though?
Yeah.
It might be ideal. It's probably a good idea for them just to stand pat because you're gonna get a good draft pick. They're gonna finish they'll finish in the lottery. Where they're at? Where are they at right now?
Yeah, but I don't want to keep paying the money. I don't want to keep paying the money.
Dallas is gonna finish in the lottery.
Yeah, they are, but I don't want to keep paying the money. Why I gotta keep paying AD?
Well, this is what I'm saying. That's your piece to move up and get 2 picks in the draft. That's why you stand pat.
You talk about in the summer?
Yes. I trade.
Can I get those picks right now? Why are we waiting?
Nobody's going to trade for AD right now.
They might.
AD's not playing the rest of the season.
There's a sucker born every minute.
This is true. The Wizards are there.
The Wizards are trying to get Zion.
But in all likelihood, even if AD is your trade, I think you keep Kyrie. I mean, AD is your trade.
I keep hearing that, but I don't. For what?
Going to get, because Kyrie is Kyrie. Kyrie is still that man. That's a hell of a backcourt with Kyrie and Cooper Flag. You're gonna get a solid rookie in the draft this year. I can't hear you.
Kyrie is 33. I muted so I can get this information. Kyrie's 33.
Okay.
Coming off an ACL.
He's also a smaller guard to where him coming back is going to be easier on him than it is on a bigger player.
I love Kyrie. Let me be very clear about what I'm about to say. I love Kyrie. I think Kyrie is one of the most amazing guards in the history of NBA basketball. I don't know if I want to pay that much to a 33-year-old guard. And also,
isn't he already under contract? You don't think
he is. But what I would love to see Kyrie be able to do at 33, I love to see him go compete somewhere one last time. We're not going to compete for a title anytime soon. By the time we get ready to compete for a title, Kyrie might be 38.
But if you're Kyrie, you leave that decision up to Kyrie.
I know he loves Dallas.
He loves Dallas. They love him. He's totally turned his reputation around in Dallas.
You gotta love that. Love that.
So
I really do.
And I think he grew up a lot in Dallas.
He did.
And so that's another reason why I'm like, they're not gonna let Kyrie go.
I don't think Kyrie's gonna ever leave Dallas, if I'm being honest with you. I'm talking about from a lifestyle perspective. I think he's staying.
Oh yeah, he'll retire. Even if he plays with another team, he'll probably retire in Dallas.
He'll retire in Dallas. Yeah.
Stay in Dallas.
Seems like a virtual lock now. Pack your bags, Michael Porter Jr. He's gonna end up on somebody's contender.
He's gonna be on nowhere yet.
Yeah.
Maybe Golden. I know Golden State was talking about him before Jimmy Butler got hurt.
Makes sense.
Know if they have.
It makes sense. I don't know if they got now. Maybe they'll do a Jonathan Kuminga thing. They can finagle him out of there that way. But
say hypothetically, say you had the choice if you're Golden State between DeMar DeRozan or Michael Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr. 100%. Okay. Michael Porter Jr. I got more versatility with Michael Porter Jr. from an offensive side of the ball. I know I'm giving up a lot on defense because he's not the greatest.
And the injury and the back.
And then there's the back part. Yeah. But I like Michael Porter Jr. offensively to pick up the slack that what we lost from Jimmy Butler. You know, I can spread the floor with Michael Porter Jr. a little bit. He can be my low budget Klay Thompson. You know what I mean? So yeah.
My only concern with Michael Porter Jr. is his back.
His health, yeah, absolutely, 100%. Now, some people are saying LaMelo Ball is going to be there. Some people are saying he won't. I say free LaMelo Ball.
I was watching them last night. Them being awful makes zero sense. They have a good core between him, Knipple, and the kid from Alabama, and Bridges, and the second-year player from Alabama.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand why they're so bad.
I don't either.
Brandon Miller is his name, right?
Yeah, Brandon Miller. Yeah, I don't get it either. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
He had 24. Brandon Miller had 24 last night on 8 of 20 shooting, and had a couple just monster dunks last night. Yeah. Knipple plays well.
Yeah,
I mean, Knipple had 11. He led the team in rebounds with 11 rebounds as a guard, and he's not that big. He's 6'4".
6'4", yeah. But he's a dog, though. He's a dog. He goes in there,
and he can. And he's one of the leading 3-point shooters in the league.
He's what we thought Connect was going to be.
Yeah.
He's what we thought Connect was going to be.
And so they've got a core. That's why I'm like, well, they're a super young core. Bridges is the vet, and so I could see them holding on just because they do have a solid core to build around, and they're going to add another young talent in the draft this year. I can see them holding on to LaMelo, but I can see a contender making a. But I'm trying also though. You got to think, what contender needs a point guard?
Houston.
Yeah.
They need it bad. They need it bad.
Yeah,
I don't think Houston can win without one. I think they're gonna get their doors blown off if they don't get one.
So that would mean if for them to make that trade, that means they would be trading Reed, Shepard.
Probably. They might be able to finagle. And see, it gets worse because Steven Adams, I think, is out. Right, he's out for the season. Is that what's going on?
I think he is out for the season.
So you got it. Your front court just became something else. You can't. Clint Capella's only going to take you so far.
Yeah, Clint Capella's our age.
Right, exactly. and he moves like us right now. So I think you got to make a decision. This is an interesting question. I don't know.
I wish I could answer that question.
That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one.
They're in the Eastern Conference that's beat up though, and so
I think the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yes, both things are true. The league, Charlotte's that bad, and the league is that good. I think it's both.
Because they've got a solid core. It doesn't make any sense. I just watched them last night. It makes no sense for this team to be blown out like this. Even though Cleveland almost blew it.
Somebody need to pack in Boston?
Let me look at their roster.
I think
they hold tight.
I think they will because
they're second they're second in the conference.
I think they will because quite honestly, their coach is too arrogant not to. But also, boy, this would be a great time to get Jalen out of there. Be a great time to get younger. At some point, Boston is going to have to, because here's the problem.
But he's only 29.
I know. But right, which is why you're going to have to get him out of there. That's the reason. Because he's making $300 million now. He's 29, which means he could make another $200 or $300 million. Do you want to pay one guy $600 million in his career?
Do you, if you go to state and you make that play?
It makes sense.
It makes a ton of sense.
It makes sense because here's the reality.
I don't think Kuminga's work, and you got to make the contracts work. So you're gonna have to get a third team involved.
You may have to get 3 or 4 teams involved. You got to get a ton of first rounds, and it's got to be first rounds. So here's the teams that are in play, to me, that make some of these other stuff work. Number one is Sacramento. Sacramento's having a fire sale right now. They don't even care who you ask for. Just ask for somebody.
Sacramento stays in fire sale.
Yeah, well, that's what they do. So
they get good enough just so they can fire sale everything again.
If you're Golden State, you get Sacramento on the phone and you say, "Help us, help you." You and Boston should have
DeMar DeRozan, send DeMar DeRozan to Boston.
Yes,
Jaylen Brown to Golden State and Kuminga to Sacramento.
And then both of y'all can get all these first round picks. Y'all can get all this other stuff. We can figure it out. But a 5-team deal is not out of the realm of possibility. But Golden State needs players. Golden State's got 3 options here. That's it. 3. Go all in on a Giannis deal or a Jaylen Brown deal. Go all in on a fire sale and sell everybody off and stop mucking around, including Steph, and stop mucking around with this.
They'll never trade Steph.
Well, but at this point, and by the way, if I'm Steph, might be time to have that conversation. Because if you're not going all in this summer, if you're not going all in right now, I can't keep staying here. I'm 37. I'm 37, about to be 38 in March. I can't keep staying here playing my heart out, putting up all-star numbers, first team all NBA numbers, and we're not going to get out of the play-in. I got 3 great years left, probably 4 maybe. Something's got to happen, and that something has to happen here or somewhere else. Same thing for Draymond. Draymond's probably like, man, I want to go do something, at least one last run. It'd be nice, and I can give somebody 20 minutes.
I don't think anybody's gonna make that move for Draymond.
Well,
Steph, yeah, Draymond, no.
With Draymond, it's a throw-in thing. Like you throw him into whatever the deal is for whatever. But you got to.
if you're Golden State, you can't keep mucking around with this. First of all, let's just be very clear. Mike Dunleavy has done a fantastically awful job since taking over as the GM. Just as awful as you can get. The Jimmy Butler thing, I don't understand that even to this day. Like, what was the purpose of that? And now it's cost losing Jimmy Butler is going to cost you 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to decide right now what you're going to be. Are you going to be a rebuilding team? And this is Steve Kerr's last year, and let's move on from everybody at the end of the summer? Or do you go all in and just blow it all up?
They're in the same purgatory as the Lakers, except they have worse roster construction than the Lakers do.
Right. And so they don't have their core piece, which is why I say they should go in on the Giannis thing. You got to get your future. You don't have it. It's not on the roster.
They would have to trade. They may be able to hang on to Draymond, maybe, but they would have to trade everything else to get Giannis, I would think. And
why not? And why not? What are you holding on to these pieces for?
Nostalgia.
For what reason?
Nostalgia.
Yeah, we got to move on. We got to grow up. This is a grown man business.
But like the thing is too, Giannis ain't no spring chicken no more either. Giannis is 31.
Well,
I mean, you ain't getting that much younger.
You're not. But here's the thing. I can buy myself a little more time. I can compete, and also
you can build
I can build around Giannis. I can build my future and go get another player to pair with Giannis faster than I can somebody to pair with a 38-year-old Steph Curry.
Steph, Giannis, and Draymond,
and others.
I don't
know if that wins a title, but it makes it interesting.
It makes it interesting. I don't think that's the title winning.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a title winning team, but I know it makes it interesting. It makes
I don't know if I want to go there if I'm Giannis.
I don't know. If you like Steph, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to win.
Maybe. I don't know. It depends on
what teams need to be doing is picking apart the Thunder, just taking stuff off of them. Just take stuff off of them.
But the Thunder are so well constructed.
I know. You got to start taking their pieces and hoping. The Thunder is going to be willing to sell off some of their pieces soon because they got all these draft picks. So they're going to start selling. Some of these pieces ain't going to be there forever.
I agree. Let's talk about a couple of other pieces that are just on fringe, like Lauri Markkanen. There seems to be a growing Lauri Markkanen.
What is Utah doing?
I don't know. I'd have been there and sold off Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah, well, I don't understand how they haven't been able to build. Well, nobody wants to live in Utah. That's they
why.
can't get free agents. No disrespect to Utah, but I mean it's the same boat.
No, it's the reality.
It's the same boat Memphis is in, same boat Milwaukee's in, Washington. You know, Washington doesn't make any sense. People want to live in Washington.
Yeah,
so I don't get why they can't build a franchise there. It must never made sense.
Franchise
horrible management.
Horrible management. Yeah. Darius,
but I would take a lot. I mean, if I was a contender, I would really look into Lauri Markkanen.
I've been wanting the Lakers to get Lauri Markkanen forever.
Mm-hmm.
I think he also is a perfect partner. Could be a perfect partner for Luka Doncic. Something like that could work very, very well.
Because he is more of a number 2 than a number 1 option.
He's very much a number 2. He reminds me of a mid-tier, a Camry, Toyota Camry, Kevin Love.
He's more acting though. He's more athletic than Kevin Love was though.
Yeah, but Kevin was a monster on the boards. You remember Minnesota Kevin Love was insane.
Yeah.
Like you like, oh my God, this guy's incredible. It was like when he went to Cleveland, you're like, oh, you're just okay.
By the time he went to Cleveland, though, he had some wear and tear on that body too.
A little bit. It's hard to carry a franchise. Yeah. Feels like they're done with Darius Garland. They're just trying to figure out what to do with him in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So
call the Wizards.
Yeah, call the Wizards. When in doubt. Call the Washington. Same thing for Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant could be a substantive piece for somebody.
He always is.
Yeah.
he just bounces around. He's played every role there is in the league. Number 1 option to number 5. He's done it all.
Yeah. And then finally, Nikola Vucevic in Chicago. Chicago had that 2 weeks where they were like, oh, man, they might be all right.
Hey, they started out the season on fire.
It was like, nah.
Then they went back to being Chicago.
Yeah, it came back down real fast. Now they're technically in the 9th spot, so they're in the play-in technically. Man, Milwaukee.
Purgatory.
What is Milwaukee doing? Okay, so that's it as far as the NBA. I don't know what's going to happen. It feels like something and nothing could both happen all at the same time.
Right. Like I said, everything is just hanging on Giannis. Giannis has control of the whole league right now.
Wow, isn't it crazy? One guy.
That's wild.
One guy has a. All right, let's get to the rest of the stuff. The biggest thing I alluded to earlier today is that this is Oscar nomination day, and let's start with the biggest snub right off the top. The Rock did not get the Oscar nomination for The Smashing Machine. I saw The Smashing Machine. My thoughts were he was very, very good. In fact, he was by far the best thing about the movie. But also,
I heard the movie wasn't that good, though.
I was going to say, but also, I understand why he didn't get the nomination. I think he rose above what essentially was just an okay movie. It was just an okay movie. But the big news coming out of this is Sinners breaks the record for nominations with 16 nominations. Have you seen Sinners?
I still haven't seen it.
You got to see Sinners, my brother. You got to see it. Listen, I'm not a horror guy either. I've never been a horror guy. It's not my thing. But this is not a horror movie.
Well, we got a big snowstorm coming this weekend, so
yeah.
I'll be snowed in
this weekend. You got to make that a priority. Watch that, and also watch another movie that got a lot of nominations, One Battle After Another. Both great movies. I'm going to be watching Hamnet because I want to see what all the hype's about. And then also,
which I had never heard of until like
I had never even heard.
I was just scrolling through social media and saw a thing for it.
Yeah. But Begonia F1. I've seen F1. F1's good.
I thought F1 came out like a couple of years ago.
No, it came out last year. It was last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems like it's been longer, but it's last year. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme. I do want to see Marty Supreme. I don't know where to watch it yet. The Secret Agent, Sentimental Values, Sinners, and Train Dreams were the Best Picture noms. Michael B. Jordan got the Best Actor nom, along with Timothée Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, Ethan Hawke, Wagner Moura, who actually won the Golden Globe, which is interesting because or was it somebody else that got that? I can't remember who won that, but yes, Michael B. Jordan seems to be the leader in the clubhouse on that Best Actor. We'll see. Best Actress, Jessie Buckley, Hamnet. There's a movie called If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Rose Byrne.
I saw that the other day. I just saw the title and cracked up. I didn't know
that's a great title. Yeah, I don't know if it's a good movie, but it's a great title.
I think they made fun of that title on Levitar one day too.
Yeah. Best Supporting Actor. Shout out to the great Delroy Lindo, who got the nod for Best Supporting Actor in Sinners. Love me some Delroy Lindo. Have always loved Delroy Lindo.
Yes.
All the way underrated. Back to Crooklyn and before.
One of the more underrated actors.
One of the more underrated dudes. Yeah, he's amazing. And the Best Supporting Actress, shout out to Wunmi Mosaku from Sinners and Tiana Taylor, who many think could sneak in and get that one.
We went on
One Battle After Another.
Yeah, we went on about her last week. Her rise to stardom has been amazing to watch.
Amazing. Ryan Coogler and Paul Thomas Anderson and Chloe Zhao from Hamnet are basically battling now for Best Director. I think they've already decided Best Original Screenplay. That's probably going to be Sinners. Although Marty Supreme's Sentimental Value wasn't just an accident, Blue Mountain Boone, all the other nominations. It feels like the way they're going to justify not giving Sinners Best Picture is by giving Ryan Coogler an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. That feels like that's how it's going to play out, but we'll see. Adapted Screenplay feels like that's One Battle After Another. Paul
Thomas Anderson has been killing it for that, and it feels like he's going to get that. Other nominations that are of interest, probably, like I said, F1 is going to probably get best editing. F1 is a visually phenomenal movie. It really looks amazing. The acting is good. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it's good. I'm curious about the best original song because Golden, the K-pop Demon Hunter song, is massive and it's everywhere. But for me, I Lied to You, Sinners is amazing. And if you watch that scene in the movie, it's one of the greatest cinematic scenes you've ever seen in the history of film. It's incredible. And that's not even hyperbole. It's that good. So yeah, a lot of great, interesting battles, if you will. Sinners, though, is the heavily favored film coming in with 16 nominations. And so I'm curious to see what happens. And then Pastor Corey said, what happens if Sinners gets 16 snubs? I don't think they're going to color purple them. Yeah, I don't think they're going to color purple them. I don't. The last time it happened,
these days and times.
Yeah, it's hard to justify doing that now. So I don't think that's going to happen. But we live in Trump's America, so let's see how it's worked out. So that's the news of the other stuff that I have. Is there anything? Oh, there's this thing called the championship.
Championship
weekend going on. So who you got? Kendrick Haskins.
I think I got Rams. You know what?
Going Rams. Okay.
I think the Broncos are going to pull the upset.
Really? So, Dr. O says, I want to say somebody said he said Rams, Broncos.
I think the Broncos are going to pull the upset with Jarrett Stidham. So I think their defense is good enough to pull it off at home. I think they're good enough to pull it off. Trust me. One of my biggest thorns in my side as a friend is a huge Broncos fan and Kent Taylor. So I don't need them in the Super Bowl.
Shout out to the great Kent Taylor.
But I think they're going to pull off the upset on the Patriots. Neither one of them are that good, to be honest with you. But
they're not.
The Super Bowl is the Rams and the Seahawks.
Yeah. I think you said Rams. The Super Bowl? Yeah, I see what you said. Yeah. God, it sounds crazy to think that the Seahawks, that Sam Darnold's going to tank this thing again at home. Because it's set up for him to do it this time, finally. But I don't know if I disagree.
I just think the Rams are the best team in the league. Now, I do think Seattle can win the game. Don't get me wrong. I would not be shocked if it's Seattle at all.
It should be a close game. It should be a very, very close game.
Team in the league.
Rams defense scares me. But they played great last weekend. But their defense scares me. I'm going to say Sam Darnold gets over the hump. I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to say he gets over the hump. I'm going to say Seahawks, Patriots. I'm going to go the opposite.
And I mean, either scenario, I can see any of these four teams. I can see winning this weekend. I think the Super Bowl champions in the NFC game.
Okay, and I agree. I agree with that. The one thing about the Patriots is that they don't make mistakes. They just don't. They're not going to beat themselves. Now Drake May could beat them. Drake May absolutely could beat them. He tried to beat them last weekend. But the other 52 are doing their job, and they're doing it at a high level. If they could get Drake to calm down, then they're not.
That's a second-year quarterback, and so
right, and that's why I'm not upset at it because that's what second-year quarterbacks do. But the way that they play and have their quarterbacks back, despite his mistakes, is what makes me think it's gonna be hard for them to go. It's gonna be hard for them to lose that game. And then I just don't trust Jarrett Stidham. There's nothing in Jarrett Stidham's career that makes me think this guy.
I think the Broncos defense is good enough to hide him.
Yeah.
And so in a one-game scenario at home, I think they can still do it.
Okay.
Now, in the Super Bowl is a totally different thing. Super Bowl, the Broncos might get their fourth blowout and win Super Bowl. which
very possible.
Which I would thoroughly enjoy.
Can I say something about the Super Bowl too? I'm underwhelmed
by
the entire thing. Whatever it comes out to be, I'm underwhelmed. Like this is one of those Super Bowls where I'm not going to be like, the game's going to be so good. The Bad Bunny thing, I don't know enough about his music to really love the. It may try to be a phenomenal experience.
I love that Bad Bunny thing for other reasons.
I love it for that. Now I do love it for that. 1,000%. I agree with that. But I'd be lying if I said, "Oh, I'm looking forward to the."
I couldn't tell you one Bad Bunny song.
Right. I don't know what I'm doing here. But Bad Bunny's interesting to me. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not overwhelmed by any of this. Not like I was last year with Kendrick, but that's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah. So
one more thing from the other stuff.
Yeah.
The Bills owner proved why owners do not need to get in front of microphones.
Oh my God.
It's puts into this is in real life. We're able to see what Dominic Foxworth said when first time he sat across from NFL owners, he realized they're not smarter than him.
They're not.
No.
Let me say this.
Rich and successful does not equate intelligence.
Prior to this interview, I used to think your owner was the most egregious owner I'd ever heard. But the Bills owner was like, hold this margarita.
I'm starting to think that all the owners are like Jerry Jones. Just Jerry Jones likes the camera.
He was so bad.
Like beyond. And Biscotti was bad too, but he was funny. For the
Scotty was funny, right? He was hilarious. So I was like, I can tolerate
this Bills owner.
Oh my God!
Need not ever get in front of a microphone again.
It's like it was like watching a train wreck that you can't take your eyes off of. Because here's the problem: it's not even a train wreck for real. It's just a train that could stop but won't.
Yeah, and matter of fact, he wrecks it, then backs up, and then wrecks into another train.
It was like, I don't think it's wrecked enough. Let's see. And by the way, Keon Coleman, like, fam, you got to stop. You got to stop, yo. You got to stop.
You remember our last segment, pack your bags.
Yeah, I would have been mad at the GM if he'd have stood up right in the middle of that press conference and straight Dave Chappelle show smacked him in the face. Like, just
the thing was, he was doing all the stupid stuff he was saying was to protect him, so he wasn't going to say anything.
But that's what made it so bad, because every time you protected him, you made it 15 times worse. Especially, first of all, fam, do you not know that everything that you're doing in life these days is being recorded by somebody? It took the internet all of 2 hours to find all of the video of the Brandon Beane saying, I really like Keon Coleman, and he ran a 4.5 at the combine. He was literally at the combine bragging about it. I was like, y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop this team from it. So now, is that a good job?
As long as you have Josh Allen, it's a good job. But oof,
wouldn't be something I'd be seeking out.
Bills are never going to win a Super Bowl. Not with this owner.
You know what? Jesus, you may be right.
If I'm Josh Allen, I might want to get out of there.
I was thinking the same thing. After that press conference, if I'm Josh Allen, I might be holding my own press conference. Like, hey.
I am a free agent. Please come get me. Free Josh Allen.
Well, you can't say it that way, Kendrick. You can't say
because you just signed a big ass contract. You can't.
You just have to get up there and support your owner, but you do it this way. Let me. You get up there and you say, listen, my owner, I know he didn't say it exactly the way that most owners would and should say it, but he said it in a way that I respect, and I appreciate him for standing up for me the way that he did and for standing up for our team. So I'm not going to throw him under the bus. I'm not going to try to, I'm just going to continue to do my job, put my head down, and that's how he's got to do it. He's got to be like, you ain't got to say it, but you got to say it. Like, you got to send out somehow through your agent or whoever you can talk to.
Signals.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It was so bad.
Oh my God.
This dude.
threw the coaches under the bus. He said he made the decision to fire the coach after the Broncos game that they barely lost in overtime on the road.
After looking into the eyes of his players. Fam, shut up. What are you talking about?
And then
my God, it was so bad.
They asked the Pastor Core, they asked the GM about just the receiver situation in general, nothing about Keon Coleman. And the owner takes the mic, says, I'm going to take this one, and completely throws Keon Coleman and the coaches under the bus.
And the GM, because he said the GM didn't want him.
Yeah.
And there's video evidence of the GM saying, we want kids. Matter of fact, the second one was worse because the second one was done by the Bills organization. They literally had him in a room sitting there saying the night before the draft, I thought to myself, it's Keon Coleman and nobody else. Fam, what are y'all doing? Like, it was bad.
Dominique Foxworth was right. Dominique Foxworth was right. These owners are not smart.
They're not smarter. They are not smarter. So wow, it was bad. Okay, we covered Drewski last week, right? That's over. Okay. Then I don't know what else to cover. I think we've covered pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think we're
good. We are totally on top of it as a dual podcast unit. So there you go. So let's do these shout outs. Who we shouting out?
Well, my shout out's the obvious one, IU football.
Oh man, I want to shout out you to that same degree because you are clearly local team good luck charm. You tend to show up at these things and the team does phenomenal. They have like legendary games.
I've watched Kentucky lose in the Final Four twice. They lost to UConn. They lost to UConn twice. Right. They lost to UConn twice. They lost them in the championship. Actually, I saw them lose 3 times in the Final Four. Wisconsin and UConn twice.
Yeah, but you were there when they won the one time they did win.
And I was there for Louisville's title.
Yeah, and then you were there for Indiana. Yep. So you've gotten the trifecta in your career. You've gotten the trifecta.
I've gotten the UK, U of L, and IU championship in my career. Never in a million years, I think one of those trifectas would be football for any of the
Indiana one. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw that coming. By the way, if you're Louisville, you got to feel like we got to stop letting these things slip through our fingers. We have to stop letting these things slip.
They've already and then like 2 of the biggest recruits out of Louisville have already committed to IU.
Who committed to IU?
Jahad Brown, receiver out of Cal, and Garyon Trainer. Garyon, it's not his last name. It's not Trainer. He's
from the city of Louisville.
Yeah, from the city of Louisville.
Wow. IU is still in recruits from Louisville now. That's crazy. We live in a different world.
And Jahad is he'll be a senior next year. Jahad is everything.
He's the real deal.
He's the real deal.
Yeah. But yeah, shout out to Louisville, who, by the way, is the last. They were the last. Weren't they the last to beat Miami and the last to beat Indiana?
Notre Dame's the last to beat Indiana.
Notre Dame's the last to beat Indiana. Okay, but Louisville's one of the teams.
But Louisville, the last time Louisville played both of these teams, they beat them.
They beat them. It's crazy. So
of course, Louisville played Indiana before Signetti was
Did
there.
they? Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, it's which, by the way, I don't know if that's even possible now. So what did it say? Don't come to the U of L versus Georgia Tech game. I'll be there, and I need Tech to win.
You don't have to worry about that. We rarely travel.
Are you talking about basketball? Because if that's basketball, yeah, we're
football.
not.
U of L plays at Georgia Tech next year.
Oh no, we'll be there. We may be there for that one, basketball, just to mess with you. for no other reason but to mess with the official pass.
As you say, I won't be at the U of L Georgia Tech basketball game this year, but I guarantee a lot of black folks from Louisville will be.
Absolutely, and it has nothing.
DePaul.
It has zero to do with Georgia Tech. It's
for people who are not from around here. This the big road game for years in the 80s used to be all the black folk would go up to Chicago for the DePaul game. My mom used to go to that game all the time.
It had nothing to do with DePaul.
And it's because it's Chicago and it's close.
Exactly.
And now Georgia Tech has replaced DePaul as that game. That it's a big West End contingent to get buses, and they go to that game.
Shout out to Harold's Chicken, by the way. Yeah. So that's a great shout out, my brother. It's a great shout out. So definitely want to shout out to my Ryan Coogler and the crew for that's an incredible
feat that they just pulled off. 16 nominations is crazy. Hopefully they walk away with not just the one or two, but several, much deserved. Because I'll be honest with you, I've seen a lot of this. This is the one year that I've seen a lot of the Oscar films, and I am very much biased in that I think Sinners is legitimately the best film that was made last year. Now, having said that, as much as I love what Wumi did in Sinners, I could see Tiana Taylor winning that Best Supporting Actress. She was really phenomenally good. But I wouldn't be mad if Wumi won. I just think that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
U of L does not play at Georgia Tech in basketball this year, so the West End road trip will not happen.
Oh, dang.
I don't know if there's one. I'm trying to look at it real quick because they play Georgia Tech at home, but they don't play them there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'd be that.
All right. So that was my shout outs to that, and then also what was it? It was something else. Oh, of course, my Giants.
Shout out to your Giants.
Shout out to my Giants. We finally got a grown man in the room. Hopefully that will make all the difference in the world. I think it will. I think it's going to be an interesting summer. Yeah, interesting draft and summer. Because we'll finally have a plan, an actual plan that we go into the summer and off season with. This is going to be great. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. All right.
Let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up. We're done. There's only one thing left to do once you give the shout outs. And that is, if I'd have done this right, I hit the wrong button.
You usually hit that right on cue. Too.
I know. This time I didn't do it. Give me the little thing you just did there. Cue the whistle.